I was probably 4 years old at the time. I had chased my brother Sam, who's 7 years older, and one of his buddies out into the trees behind our house in Ackerman, Mississippi, where if you walked far enough through the woods, you really did end up at our grandmother's house. It was a typical I was a typical tag along nuisance, and the bigger, faster boys easily left me in the dust. So after moping around a while, I started to make my way back towards the house. Then I tripped and fell, knocking or scraping something badly enough to make me cry. It's funny what you remember. What I remember most strongly was feeling so pitiful and sad about being alone and left out that I decided in my little boy mind to lie on the ground and cry until someone came to find me. Surely, I thought, I'd be missed and looked for. Someone would come scoop me up any minute now. I lay on the ground at the roots of the trees and waited. The afternoon drifted into evening as the chirrups and bird chatter of day gave way to the croaks and creakings of night. No one came looking. I gave up eventually and limped back, very dramatically, I'm sure, to the house, where no one seemed to have noticed that I'd been gone. Later, I came to relish the fact that our parents didn't hover, and having spent hours upon glorious hours alone in the woods is something I treasure from my childhood. But at that moment, I didn't want to be alone. I wanted to look up and find myself looked for. This happened long before the legion voice of shame had a chance to take up residence in my life. As Andrew Roycroft's essay makes clear, shame has a way of convincing us that not only is no one missing us, but we were never worth missing in the first place. But those devils are all diabolical liars, seeking to put asunder what God always intended to be wedded in perfect, fear-dissolving love. What if after believing those diabolical lies, until they'd hardened like an asphalt crust over pasture land, a tiny, green-leafed question worked its way up through some oily crack in the blackness? What if you found out that something impossibly good was true? What if you found out someone had been looking for you the whole time? Tell me, do you feel forgotten? Tell me, do you feel like a throwaway? Left last in line and never picked to play? You're wondering if your prayers have ever made it past the ceiling. But what if you found out someone had been looking for you the whole time? Seems like I recall a story. Seems like I recall a son who left, flat turned his back on everyone who cared. He never would have guessed that every day since then the Lord was searching. So I'm telling you, there is a friend who loves you at your worst, and he is searching everywhere. Child, when your heart gets broken, child, when your heart gets stolen by thieves in the valley, covered up in lies, God is out there digging where the rest gave up on the treasure. What if you found out someone had been looking for you the whole time? So that's from Only the Lover Sings. That's the first song on the album. And then there's a beautiful essay by the poet Andrew Roycroft that follows that. So if you want to hear the songs, they're all on Spotify or Amazon or wherever you listen to music. They're on my website, matthewclark.net, and the books are available there and on Amazon. So yeah, pick up a copy. I think we'll be posting little snippets along the way this year, and so I'll get on here and read these every once in a while. Cool. Thanks.